Card 17. For this problem, you need to know how to work with percentages. So let's get started. 80% of 2m is 40. All right, let me show you how to rewrite this into an equation. 80%, 80 over 100. Okay, that's just a rule. Write the number over 100, that means percent. Of always means times. 2m is always means equals 40. All right, I love doing this. Now we have our word problem into an equation, which is the most important part, and now we can start solving. So to get the m alone, let's start by dividing out the 80 over 100. You might do this a different way if you're very familiar with dealing with fractions, but now when you divide by a fraction, that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of that fraction. Reciprocal meaning you flip them. You put the 100 on top, the 80 on the bottom. All right, so instead of dividing, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal, which is what we're doing here. 2m equals. Now let's go straight across. When we multiply fractions, we go straight across. 4,000 over 80. All right, let's get rid of those zeros. So we have 400 over 8. Let's just solve that. 8 into 400. 8 goes into 45 times, and then 0. So 2m equals 50. All right, now divide by 2 to get m alone. We know that m equals 25. Now, that is not the answer, so don't stop there. What are we solving for? We're solving for 160% of m. So we want 160% of m, which is 25. We can put it over 1 since we're multiplying fractions, and let's solve. So 160 times 25 over 100. And let's first start by, we have zeros. Let's get rid of one of the zeros. So it's 16 times 25 divided by 10. And I guess we have to do this math. 25 times 16. $400. Divided by 10, we get rid of those zeros, we get 40. All right, our answer is 40. 80% of 2m is 40, and 160% of m is 40. Wait a second. Now you should notice 40, 40. We went back to our original number. All right, and this is where having a more advanced understanding of percentages will really help you, because 80% of 2m, I'm rewriting just what we wrote here. Let's do that out. 80% of 2m becomes 80 times 2, 160 m over 100. That's 160% of m. All right, we just fast-tracked it over to the answer. So if 80% of 2m is the same thing as 160% of m, then they both equal 40. And that is your final answer.